You know it's on, right?
What?
Oh, whoops. Okay, well. Hey, everyone. We're doing a special on whatever night tonight is.
Friday.
Oh, yeah, Friday.
Friday night.
Yeah, with Stephen Bobo, all the way from North Carolina, who is from Columbus, Ohio. You could tell by his Buckeye shirt.
Of course, Buckeyes for life.
But ask him what his NFL team is.
Oakland Raiders.
Right, and I'm a Rush Limbaugh guy here, so you're lucky I'm not going to say nothing about that.
Uh-oh.
But we're going to talk to him a little bit about his experience inside the system and what brought him to the system. And it's kind of an interesting story.
Yeah.
You know, I always turn it over to you.
He always does this to
I
me.
know. Go ahead.
Right.
But I'm used to talking about the proposal. That's my forte.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to tell your story of because you're getting ready to write a book, or you're in the process.
In the process of writing a book.
And do you want to
Conviction to redemption.
How
And I need to be in your book, by the way. No.
got on that road?
Yeah. Well, I was a good guy. I've been a good guy. Raised by my mother and all that type of stuff. And it was just stupid decisions. Stupid decisions. Try to be something that I wasn't. Playing the field, playing the women, trying to make sure I'm bigger than what I thought I was. Just stuff that just not me.
How long were you a correction officer for?
Let me see. 90, no, it wasn't 90. No, it wasn't in 2000, because that's when I got MS. 1998, 99. Yeah.
For how long? For 2 years?
34 years.
Were you always at Madison?
Oh, no, I was at Madison. I was at Madison, and then we went to Monday Correctional, and then I went to DCI before I switched over to women.
Because I've been in prison for a really long time. So 1997. So that was like the first, I think 98 or 99 was the first time that I ever went for a family hearing in front of the parole.
And I was at DCI in 98.
My mom was teaching college in 98 there. She taught college there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we were out in Madison.
But parole, I never, so that's what I said, when you was talking about parole, I can't relate to that because I was new law. So when I got my time, I did my time, and then that was it.
It was a flat sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
Which could have been more. But
Which was 2003, you said?
Yeah, that's when I got sentenced.
Yeah. If you were under the old law, you would have gotten something like 6 to 25, and you probably would have done 25 under the old law.
Yep, I would have done 25.
Yep.
I sure would have done 25. I feel blessed that, I feel blessed I got what I got because they talked about 15, and then mocked it down to 12, and then my lawyer got me 3, and then I got out early. Yeah.
Is that for good behavior programming and things like that?
Yeah.
And you went to the institution you worked at?
For a little bit. That's at the end.
You know that's against ODOC policy,
at
right?
that time. I think, well, it probably is now, but they didn't do it.
It
now.
was still back then, but they didn't enforce it.
No. There's another one in there now. There's another guard in there now.
Oh, Margie's saying, hi, Margie.
Margie who?
She's a cutie.
Oh no. Be scared of those cuties.
Okay.
Trust me.
I have a prison wife support group. So when you hear us say the cuties, that's who they are. Coming up on the screen.
You know women. You're not going to win.
You never do. You never do.
So I quit trying.
But they are our biggest supporters.
I see you agreeing with that.
You are. Women are our biggest supporters.
Yep.
Because, that's about my story. I always talk about my story all the time.
Samantha said, "Don't be scared of us."
Oh, I'm not.
I am very scared. Thank you very much, Samantha.
Yeah. Well, coming from the joint, you can't be too scared. But you women are, gotta watch my mouth.
James here had 3 fiancés.
But I didn't ask them for money. I did go to the hole though, because 2 of them showed up for the same day for visiting. But I did love all 3. And I just couldn't pick which one I loved the most.
Oh yeah, you get in trouble for stuff like that.
But I didn't ask them for a penny. That I didn't do.
Causing conflict.
That's funny. That's funny, man. So what else? What else you guys need to know?
Samantha said, James Cronenberger, don't be scared.
He's not.
I'll try not to be.
He's not.
I might need you all as a bodyguard someday. Your story is, though, kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You hear of staff members getting busted for bringing stuff in, and now they're really getting big time. They're getting 10 years. They charge them with severe, trafficking, actually.
Some of them are getting hit with the kingpin status, too.
I've heard that.
Really?
The kingpin status, yeah.
It's just as bad if a officer is with an inmate,
Right.
does anything, they get the RAPE.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
But,
I think. It's my
Right.
opinion.
They should, and
Right.
it happens more often than you think. And I seen it so many times when I was locked up. I just wasn't one of the fortunate ones.
Right.
Not that it's fortunate, but I mean, you know what I mean. So.
You silly, man. You silly. Okay. Anything else? We got you. What else you want to know?
Oh yeah, we got you here now.
Uh-huh.
But we're being nice though.
Oh, okay.
We got to think what we're gonna say now. Just ramble on like you do on your videos.
Well, usually I just talk to people when the people ask questions and stuff like that.
I can't say.
I can't really see them either.
Oh,
I'm blind.
saying we got your back.
Okay.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, so now you help.
Yes.
What do you do?
Usually right now I help inmates who are going through, have problems with COs, or the family has problems with the court dates and stuff like that. I've helped a couple inmates. Human rights stuff. I do
Human rights, civil rights.
Yeah, civil rights. A lot of stuff that I take care of. Where inmates write me, or their family calls me, and we talk. I've had a guy who has been sentenced, and he did a bit, 10 years on one charge, and they came back and hit him with 5 on the same charge, and he never. Yeah, they ran it. They didn't even run it concurrent. They ran it wild.
What states are you doing most of your help in?
North Carolina, West Virginia, Ohio. Got some here in Ohio, West Virginia. Where's some other people at? Arkansas. Texas.
Arkansas is bad though.
Arkansas is scary.
Florida.
Yeah, we just kind of started on Florida a little bit.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends in the Florida system.
Mm-hmm.
Lori John's husband is boyfriend's out there.
Massachusetts, Wisconsin.
I only advocate in Ohio because I don't know the laws.
Yeah. I just want to buy some. I've just bought
But,
some state law books now.
But we have people outside of states that's buying her shirts, and we're gaining support, especially from Kentucky, I think it is. Which someday we're hoping to have a chapter out there, one in Cleveland. I have people on our JPA from other parts of the state, but we have to learn the system, and we can't give them legal advice. We might be able to refer them in the right direction.
That's what I do. I refer them.
You just open yourself up to a lawsuit.
Right. I have some lawyers who are in my group, and one girl that's in Atlanta, Georgia, and I always run stuff past her, and she said, "Well, this is what you can do." They said, "Well, give me their number," and she'll call them. That's all I refer, and that's all I do. I don't say I can do this. I can.
Yeah.
I'll never say that.
And people they think that we can and we can't.
No.
And I get inbox messages all the time. Like.
Yep.
My husband, this, that, and the other. I'm like, we can't help you with that, but we can direct you.
We got the one where it was like they had witnesses and they had the witnesses and videotaped evidence and everything with that, and can you get them off? And
yeah. Well, because if that was the case, my husband would be out. He would be out because he's got a crazy.
And one thing we have noticed too is if there's a fight or a problem between an officer and an inmate, they say the cameras are not working, and we know the cameras are working. That's one reason that Candace has been pushing for the video of the parole hearing, so it's not the parole board's word against the inmates.
Right.
These inmates are fighting for their lives.
I know they are.
Trying to come home. Some of them have been now 30, 40, and one close to 50 years old. That's almost as long as I've been alive. Well, I'm 55, but I know I don't look like it. I don't look like it.
I just got a phone call on the way here, actually, where there's an institution that they aren't allowed to come out unless they stick a piece of paper through the door saying out. So people are missing their pill calls.
In Ohio? We need to get involved in that.
Yeah. And, well, actually, I got a call about it this morning, and then I got a call on the way here. And they're saying, you know, like, they're going to the doors, but they're not allowed out. And, you know, they said to the CO, don't you see me standing here? They said, where's your piece of paper? He said, what piece of paper? And you got to slip a piece of paper out the door for them. And this is it's not a max facility.
It's a regular.
It's
a level 3.
Level 3.
So, okay, so it's Warren? Okay. Well, you hear that, people? We're getting involved. That means you all.
Yeah, right? I mean, we've always been involved. We don't just do the parole board stuff. We advocate other things. There are things that we won't get involved with.
One is the food. We have bigger problems than worrying about the food.
So can you give us the inside scoop on the food? What really goes on?
I'll be honest now.
The food was horrible. The food was very, very horrible.
Well, it wasn't as bad when the state
had
it, but when Elmar came in.
Yeah, I tell you what though, when you come from the county jail, and then you come to prison, oh man, you loving it because the county jail food, you know, is nothing.
Right.
And then when you eat prison food, you're like, oh, this is pretty good. And after a while, you're like, this is not any good.
Right. But then the only time I hardly ever went to the child hide.
Right.
Once in a while on a holiday. But I'm lucky if you get $20 in a month, you're like a millionaire.
Right. Right.
So were you in Madison County?
No, I was in Dayton, in Montgomery County.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Montgomery County I was in there for about a month and a half. Then I got house arrest, and then I went to CRC from there.
I live out in Madison County, right by the prisons.
I just went past there. I took my pictures and stuff about it.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's just, you know, we've seen it now. I'm like, wow, that's just where I came from. You know, it's so real. You know, now I'm like, I'm out. But when I was there, I was like, I just wasn't scared, but you know, it's just like a whole different world.
How did you react when you walked into CRC? Were you nervous because you used to work for the system?
No, I wasn't scared. I was kind of nervous. I ain't gonna say and lie, I wasn't scared. I was scared because of some fact, because, like you said, being part of the system and people know who you are. People knew who you were when you came in the door. Like I said, a lot of them knew I was a CEO. A lot of them knew what my case was. A lot of people knew I was an ex-pro wrestler and all that type of stuff. So that was a big thing. And CEOs were like, well, you know, look what we have here. We got celebrity, we got pro wrestler in the house, you know. And so, you know,
did they harass you?
I got CEOs? When I got to Madison, I got a lot of harassment there.
Did you?
Yeah, but CRC, no, not real. Not much. CRC wasn't bad.
But CRC is probably one of the better institutions because
it's by the law, though. It's by the law. It's by the law.
We get a lot of complaints on Madison, especially the closed side.
Closed side, I get a lot of guys who was on the closed side said they wanted to get over from where I was going to the free side, as they would call it, and it wasn't free, but you know, the closed side, it was bad over there. Guys were always talking about how bad the CEOs were over there. The commissary was bad over there, and how they always go into the hole for stupid stuff.
Yeah, I was over on the minimum side for about 2 weeks until a guy kind of told on me for smoking on the inside because I handed him the cigarette because he wanted to take a hit on it. He handed it right to me knowing the CO was coming.
Right there, right.
So, and that was like the third time, so I did 6 months in the hole, and they transferred me. Well, I went from one hole to the next.
See, that was a set. I'll give you the cigarette because he knew the CO was coming.
Yeah. Well,
so, do you think you would have stopped if you hadn't got caught?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not, because you know at that time money was too good. I was living life. How you want to say it?
Yeah. Are you going to tell us what you were bringing in?
I was going to say. I was just about to ask, like, what did
if
you charge?
Don't feel comfortable.
No. Say this. I was driving a 2000 at that time, 1999 2000 Intrepid. You know, I had the little TVs and everything inside it, so I was living pretty good. You know, family was taken care of. You know, they didn't know what I was doing until they saw it on the news. You know, not saying my wife was crazy, but she knew I was doing something because, you know, she knew I wasn't making money like that.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's kind of interesting. I know that a lot of inmates will go to a CO. That's cool. and say, hey, go to my mother's house. She'll give you $1,000. Bring this in.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's how a lot of the dopes come in.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the going rate of, from what I'm hearing now is like $1,000 for a phone.
And you see a lot of that now. You see a lot.
You didn't so much when I was there.
No, you didn't say that much when I was there.
But they were there, but they hid them in the ceilings.
Because there's a lot of that going on Facebook. You've seen that going on there, and if you get it off, you get it off.
Right.
You know what?
Well, when I was going through chemo at Fraser Hospital, we weren't allowed to smoke inside, so we would put all the tobacco up in the ceiling. But they came to replace the ceiling, so they all fell down. And I mean, I'm talking about piles, and we lost every bit of it.
That's how we used to hide the hooch, put up in the ceiling.
Yeah, that or trash cans. When the officer goes around and checks the trash cans, you just move from trash can to trash can.
Right, that's right.
So, not that I would know. But we drank it on New Year's Eve.
Yep, but
and got sick.
Man, people be all over the bathroom. You couldn't get in the bathroom good enough.
Now, it seems to me that people go in high, they leave high. They're not getting the treatment that they need.
And that's the main thing too.
And part of the problem is the officers bringing it in, so they never can really recover.
And they don't care. Like these people on is it K2 or 2K?
K2.
Yeah. They're rolling around naked on the ground, and the COs are just stepping over them and
crazy.
Whatever. They just
I don't even know what K2 is. Do you?
It's a new drug that's out.
K2, I think it's wet.
It's not heroin.
Considered.
Okay. That must be something new then.
Yeah, it's something new.
It makes LSD look like Tic Tacs.
And that's the one they talk about. It look like you're almost like you're somebody from the Walking Dead zombie type of stuff. Yeah.
The scary thing is, it's in the elementary schools. A lot of the drugs are. They had a overdose in Dayton of a 12-year-old boy of fentanyl. Now, I'm not saying he actually did it. Somebody could have put in his food or something. Yeah. But I mean, it's important to watch where your kids are.
You got to. You got to, but there's more drug trafficking inside the institution than there is on the streets, because it's like a different world. It's a city inside of a city, as I would say.
I've always recommended though to inmates, if they see something like this, don't say nothing. I mean, for one, we're not snitches,
right?
Personally, I don't. I mean, and I've seen it before, and. Not that I was getting anything in, but so I mean I wasn't, but my friends were.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I used to work on the same road as the prisons, but I was doing loans and stuff.
Excuse me.
And this guy came in and he worked for the kitchen or something out at Madison, and he was telling me that the stuff that they were getting in there. He didn't work there anymore, but
they because that's that. I remember, like I said before, we had the guys going outside and clean outside on the Arnold guys. They would pick up stuff on the outside where people threw, or where they pick them up, cutting the grass or something outside, because that's how the stuff's getting in. But nowadays, like we said, they have to be coming in through the COs.
What was your exact job when you worked for them? Did you work in a dorm, or were you?
I was a porter, and then I left.
No, I'm talking about as an officer.
Intake.
Okay.
Yeah, intake, and then
orientation
for the dorm. And then I was just a regular dorm monitor.
So did you put the scare tactic in them when they first came over?
Some of them, the young ones coming in and stuff like that. Wow. They try to scare them to the point where they don't come back no more.
That doesn't work. That don't work on the young ones though.
No, because they there now.
Yeah, the thing that is so unfair is these people that sentenced after 1996 can get in a fight with the old law guy. The old law guy is the one that's punished at the parole board. New law people are automatically going home.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. No, I don't agree with that 100%. Because there's no way that you have the same case, but I'm new law, I'm old law, and I get way more time than you do.
I would only
get your new law because
I would only did 6 years under the new law,
right?
And I did 25 under the old law.
That's not right. That's not right because you guys have done their time. There's no why to keep on.
Because mine was a second-degree felony.
Right. You just can't do stuff like that because it's not right. Because I'm not saying I'm whatever, but I'm saying right there is not right. I was new law and old law. Old law guys, I was cool with all the old law guys, and there was guys in there who did the same exact thing I did. Well, not as far as being a CEO, but doing the same thing I did, drug trafficking, and they got way more time than I got. And
under the old law.
Under the old law, it's still in there. Still in there.
Well, we want you to take our proposal and read it and give us your insight on it and maybe promote it because we're gaining so much support in Ohio from all corners and also in the State House. We ran into a state rep yesterday and found out that he's sitting on the Criminal Justice Committee, which handles this.
Yeah. We're relentless when we go there.
Right. I mean,
if
we would see the governor, we'd tackle him.
We figured out this hallway. We actually came upon it by accident. We just went into this hallway to get out of the way and didn't realize that that's where all the senators and staff come through.
Right, from the committees.
So that's how we...
Right. The thing with Governor DeWine, if all three of us would stand next to him, we wouldn't be able to see him because he's 5 foot.
Wow.
But I remember back in the early 80s, he introduced Ronald Reagan in Strongsville, Ohio. He had the best speaking voice that I've ever heard. Him and Dana Reinhardt, the former mayor of Columbus. He just passed away about 2 years ago. He got in some type of trouble in Columbus, but he was a politician on the rise that also had a fall before the rise. So, like so many.
So my idea with this is, are you guys trying to abolish that old law type of stuff so everybody be on the name? Everybody has the same stuff.
No.
Okay.
Because we can't do that, but we are wanting them to be released.
That's it.
You know,
I agree with that.
they're not
except a
criminally
small amount.
insane.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And then the ones
because
that,
they're way past their minimums. I mean, there are people 30 years past their minimums.
I remember you was talking about that. I was watching you one day. You was talking about that. How a guy that you know that's been in there for so long, and he did.
Yeah, it was John Peters. But her husband was arrested as a juvenile. I don't know, 17 or so. That's 26 years ago. So in here, it says that they had to bring the juveniles back to the parole board within 6 months. You know, and that's only fair because if you're 15 or 16 or 17 years old and you do something, and especially if there's no proof, you should not be doing 26 years.
But just like a little insight of what we were dealing, or what we are coming up against, I guess, when we're going and talking to them, is that the governor seems like he's 100% on board to revamp the board members.
That's good. And he should.
Which is good for the board members that are coming in, but they still got the ones that are there.
Are they the ones that are there? Are they just old school?
Yeah,
the worst of the worst.
Okay.
The old law don't need to be get.
Of course, one
they
of
don't
them
need to get
either
out.
resigned or retired. We don't know which she did.
We just found that out today.
It's Ellen Venters, and I mean, I was skipping around the house with Terry.
Yeah, she. I saw her when I went in for my husband's family hearing. She was the one that I saw, and had us and me and his mother in tears. So you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't be treated that way.
No.
You know, in a parole hearing, we're not criminals. We just came in to say, hey, we've got him.
Right.
You know, we've got his home plan, his job plan, his.
See, that's another thing I don't understand. If the family has the job plan, the home plan, we got everything in order, and that's how it's supposed to be, and then you still gonna deny them, I don't get that.
Yeah, and my husband published a book, so she wanted the book, and I gave it to her reluctantly, and then when he went in for his hearing, they didn't even talk about it. She didn't even acknowledge it. He got 2 law degrees while he's been in there, plus 2 other degrees. They didn't bring it up.
And the one thing we're finding out, people are refusing to go to the parole board. Like I did at the last time, I made a gesture that I shouldn't have, went to the hole, and I got out in 18 months. So why would I want to be paroled and be under the parole board?
Yeah, for 10 years after when you get out.
Mine was 2 years.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. We just heard recently somebody is paroled in Ohio for 10 years.
You mean life?
Oh, yeah, life.
I'm about to show you. Hold on.
Now, I know that federal, when you get released from federal, it's not called parole, it's probation. When you get out of federal prison. They did away with the parole board. And that was, I think, George Bush that did away with the parole board.
So, do you think, truthfully, do you think the politicians now, Trump's guru people, you think they're going to be aboard with this, try to help out?
Yes, I do, because he's all about saving money. When he revamped the federal system, that helped all of us out, and it opened up the doors. Then Shirley Smith came out with the issues with the parole board when she resigned. That confirmed what we've been saying. You know, and I know you know probably quite a few old law inmates over the years.
That's good stuff right there.
But
don't mention names. Period of supervision, life sentence.
Wow. See,
Supervision start date. Period of supervision.
that's in Ohio here?
Yes.
I know him.
You do?
I'm
You
pretty.
know who that is? Yeah.
Right. Well,
That's good. That's good.
yeah, that's really unconstitutional, though, giving somebody that
It
type
is.
of parole.
Yeah, so in
That's
the
good.
back of this, we cover, you know, they can't be having, you know,
You
That
guys work
long
hard
of-
on this. That's good. That's
and
good.
it's from start to finish, so it's, you know,
Right.
re-entry and then after as
Okay.
well. So there's things that we would negotiate on it, and
Minor things.
we've been told that there's already some other things that are in the works, which is good. We would attach ours onto theirs, or
That's
you
good.
know, like he said, the meat of it.
Yeah, if they don't put the meat on, we're not going to support
Yeah, we
it.
won't
I
support
agree
it.
with you. That's
just
real
gotta
good,
go
man. You guys
through-
really doing your job on that. That's a real good thing. I like
Right,
that.
I tell you, we've nonstop for
And you have.
couple months
I've been
now.
watching you doing it, man.
I mean, she goes to the state house with me all the time, you know, and you could tell she's tired. She wanted to stop at Potbelly Pig yesterday, but I was too busy talking
It's
to
not
somebody.
Potbelly Pig.
What is it?
It's just Potbelly.
Well, it's a pig, obviously. Well, I
He
mean,
said I want to go there. It's pork. I'm like, it's not
that's
pork.
right.
It's
I really
subs.
don't eat pork.
It's sub sandwiches. It's not.
No, yeah,
Well,
yeah, I know what you're
Potbelly.
talking
There's
yeah,
probably
Potbelly.
it's probably pig in there somewhere.
Maybe a ham.
I mean, I couldn't get a Potbelly Pig because I'd be eating it.
Right, you silly man.
So
But man, I'm you know what, you guys are doing a real good job, and really commend you on this, man. But you guys gotta support them. Support them. I really do. 'Cause I'm gonna support them because they are doing things that need to be done. Should have been done a long time ago. There's no reason for these people to be in there over us.
Yeah.
Be in there.
So
that
that-
long.
Well, this because even if somebody introduces this, we are licensed to lobby.
Good.
Right.
So we are.
we're a 501H along with the 501c3.
So
Okay.
we legally are allowed to lobby,
That's good.
and we let them know that as well.
That's
And,
good.
and to really win, and this is a campaign, it's going to cost money, and we're doing good. But we put out another fundraiser because we're going to have a letter writing contest. I mean, not contest, but letter writing, and we're going to pay for the postage, the paper, the envelopes,
Okay.
and we're talking about possibly getting postcards to send in, which I love that idea though.
Right.
And last night, the fundraiser I started at the beginning, we got a $50 donation, so I went up to $245. Not to brag though.
All right,
You
that's
can't see
good.
a
Well,
little
you'll
one.
see.
That's good,
You'll
man.
see.
That's good. That's good. I'm telling you, you guys are
You'll
doing a
see
real good
how mine
job, man.
goes.
For real. Doing a real good job on this.
I probably sent it to over 400 people today. I was kept going down on all three of my pages.
That's how you do it. That's how it is. Got to get the
Yeah,
gotta get out
so
there.
all the advocates that are out there, we
Yes.
need your help. Join us. Help us get this done. It's gonna help everybody.
Because eventually, it's gonna trickle down. It's got
Yeah.
to. It's got to.
What is kind of sad in Ohio is we have all these groups, and we have several groups that work on prison issues. But where are they at? you know, if people can't toot their horn, they are not interested. It's not about us saying, look at us. It's about the people we serve and help and being a voice for those behind bars.
And I support everyone. If they send me their petitions or whatever they do, you know, I support everyone. And I don't...
I support them if it lines up with what we do and if it's something I'm not really against.
Well, yeah.
Which is not too many things. There's so many groups that if you help us, we help you. You come to our protest, we come to your protest.
And like we said, we will speak at any kind of community event. We will go over the proposal with you. I mean, I feel like I could recite it in my sleep.
Right. Well, we need Stephen to come up on August 3rd for our Parole Summit. That's at the Whitehall United Methodist Church from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have the public defenders going to have a table for expungement. They're going to also talk about wrongful convictions. And partly for the parole board, we have a state rep coming to discuss how a bill is introduced.
That's gonna be
that's interesting. And that may not be a workshop. That may just be in the regular church part, because I think that, and we have Beverly Seymour coming to go over the bill each way. And of course, there you have to say 2 minutes. Right. You had to say that a half hour before. So, but Beverly's really great. She knows this stuff.
Right.
She's a talker, but she gets her message across.
Right.
Yeah, she wrote it, so she knows it inside and out.
Right. Like you said, I'm from here. I'm from Ohio. This is my home state.
Trader.
I'm a trader now. It's my home state, but I'm from North Carolina now. But this right here has been going on for a long time. You know, I was incarcerated here in Ohio. So, like I said, I know people who were still there when I was there. And that was back in 2009, 8 when I got out. 7, I mean. And they're still there. They're still there. And for stupid crimes, petty crimes.
What year did you get out?
2007.
Okay, you got out way before I did. I got out January 24, 2011 at 4:15 p.m.
Not that he was counting.
Yeah, I was supposed to get out at 8 a.m., but my one sister was coming from Texas. The other one was coming from Brunswick, Ohio. And I'm over there sweating because the CO said, you know, you could go outside, you know. So I looked at him. I didn't budge.
And you're like, after 25 years,
I didn't want him to escape.
Think so.
Right, that's right. I'll wait till they get him. That's right. I wouldn't go nowhere either.
And then they give me this box. I left everything there with my TV and stuff. I had this little box, you know, and then I forgot something in there, so I made them go back and get it for me. They wouldn't let me back in.
No.
So I guess that did feel good, though.
I left my TV and stuff like that, too. TV and food I had left and stuff like that. I left all that stuff. Because I said I don't want to bring it back because that's over. I don't want to leave it alone. Because they said, you know, the old lie, so you know, you bring it, take it home, you're coming back. That's what that was what people told me when I was there. Right.
But I always thought your story was pretty interesting. We did a YouTube video a while back. I think you owned up to your mistakes. What would you say to an officer, and I have several officers on my page, if they were doing the same thing right now?
Don't do it because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Money might look good at the time, but what happens, because your risk going to get caught. And nowadays it's probably like quicker.
Everything's temporary.
And people are dying.
Exactly. Oh, and then you're going to get that charge.
Yeah, people are dying.
They're going to hit you with that charge. Especially when they start bringing that
that one job. With the drugs now, they're getting real, especially the fentanyl. We lead the nation.
If you ain't cutting it and processing it yourself, you don't know what's in it.
Right.
It's not even worth it.
It's easier just not to do it.
Yeah,
it is not even worth it.
Right. Even marijuana, they're lacing it with marijuana. And people are dying from that.
Embalming fluid and everything.
That's called wet, when they use a cigarette dip in an embalming fluid and PCP.
Yeah.
And
but like I said, that big one, because I know
I would know.
I'm not going to comment on that one. Because I was in North Carolina, I see it. I see Ohio's leading this and that, and you know, this area, Montgomery County, Franklin County. I said that's my own territory. That's my own city.
How did you end up in North Carolina?
My wife,
okay.
She got a job. She works. Well, I'm not gonna tell where she worked at, but she worked and her job transferred her to North Carolina.
So is she still in North Carolina?
Yeah, she's there with my daughter.
Give her a choice. Either she comes back to Columbus or you do.
I'm gonna come back. I'll come back before she does. But she loves it there. But you know, my mom and all them, my family's still here.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just need to move back to Columbus.
Oh, I'll come back.
Right.
I'm coming back.
You live in Columbus?
Yes.
Okay, so you're safe then.
Yeah, I'm here all the time. I'm here.
Yeah.
But I work in the school system. I'm not going away.
Oh, poor lady.
God help me.
Working with those kids all day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I heard her stories, and I said I want to come in and talk to those.
I'm dressed correctly
You
today.
need to quit acting up because you're going to end up where I was at. I tried telling him, I said, this is
Do you
not
take
the place
billy
to-
clubs in the classroom with you?
Damn, I wish I
Do you do mentoring?
I've heard stories.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to.
have a little
I want to do Bible
That's all that's here to work.
prison ministries and stuff like that. I want to go back to prison, talk to
Is
it
prisoners and stuff like that
a
because,
mental
especially
problem?
in the county jails, I want to start there because
Yeah.
you guys need
Born
to, you
addicted.
can get them there, get them to chill out. You're not going to the big house.
I
You want them
personally
there.
think
But
the parents should be.
So,
Charged with
because
that.
you got flat time and it wasn't that much, did you have to, were you required to take any programming or anything like that? You were?
I tell you, I take narcotics and stuff like that. I do all that type of stuff.
Because they're not
You're
having
not
them do that now.
Yeah, they never mandated.
No, they
new
mandated. My lawyer told to get out early.
Yeah, that's different.
And he's gonna get out early. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do this, and so that's how I got out.
Were you addicted to drugs, or were you addicted to the money?
Money. No.
Yeah,
I wasn't
because
into
even
drugs.
like, because my husband said all the new laws coming in and they just don't care. They're playing on their JPEGs. They're, you know, because they know they're getting out, so
Right.
they're not
And
they're
you-
not trying to do
yeah.
any rehabilitation, and then that's the revolving door.
Right.
They're just coming right back in.
Yeah, 40% of our population is doing 2 years or less,
Mm-hmm.
and you were probably one of the oldest people really going in for a short time.
Yeah, it was. I was on oldest. Yeah, I was. I was the oldest guy
Yeah,
there.
the population is getting younger and younger.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, you know, you got to blame society somewhat if you look what they look onto, you know, on the internet, TV,
Yeah.
all violence. They see the brothers or sisters or parents going out there smoking dope.
It's out all
They
around.
do
It
what
is.
they know.
You're project of your environment, you know. And I just tell people all the time, you don't have to be that way. You don't have to be that way. You can beat the system. You don't have to let the system define who you are.
Right.
I was in prison, but that prison's not going to define who I am. I'm trying to get myself back. I feel like I got myself back better. But there's still some times where I do fall off. That's far. I'm not going to never go back out there and do the same things I did. But I see my behaviors could end up doing stupid stuff, and I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to keep my head, keep my brain straight, keep my mind straight, do the right thing.
We just have to keep our minds
Unless you're
stronger than
older
that.
now.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm older.
that instinct. I think that, you know, really the criminal instinct, and that's a lot of things with the old law. Your criminal instinct is gone,
Yeah.
you know, as you get older.
Yep. These young
That's why a lot of these people that's been down 20, 30 years ago, they're the least likely to reoffend.
True.
If they were a murderer, they're not going to go out and kill anybody
Yeah,
at that
especially
age.
the juveniles. They've, you know, they have no record, no nothing
Right. And
before them. They're just,
They just want a
thrown
life.
away.
They just want a life.
Yeah.
You know what I remember? This is funny. It's not funny. It's kind of silly. But when I came home to get my judicial release, I came through Montgomery County Jail, and a bunch of young guys and kids in there, you know, 19, 20 years old, maybe at the oldest. They see me come in with my blues on. Oh man, you just came out home. You just coming home. Oh man, I can't wait to get my prison number so I can tattoo it on my body.
That's sad. You know,
It's an end thing. They think it's cool.
you remember the old saying for that. You
What?
better keep more room on there for the other ones you're going to get.
That's right. Because
I have 2 numbers.
Mhm.
So, and I know one guy that's got 9. And he's running another group.
So how did you get caught then? Somebody told on you?
I know somebody told on me. I had to. I told I was coming into pulling into the
I
the
still
prison.
can't stand snitches.
Pulling into the prison, and the troopers. The troopers were there, and the sheriff was there. So
And what, they just searched you?
No, they just told me to come for us, come to me.
So they
But how
had you
did-
on camera.
I mean,
though.
did
They have me on camera.
Oh, they had you on
me
camera,
They had me on
okay.
camera. They have carrying packages in and stuff like that. And they said, "What you got in the package?" The day I did have something on me, so that's the reason why I got slammed like I did.
Oh, okay.
Because if they said just going by what they saw or what they heard,
How did you feel when you saw them?
I know it was done.
Yeah.
I know it was done. I'm a big dude back. I was bigger then than I am now. I mean, I cried. When they cuffed me and put me in the back of that car, I cried. Right there in front of all the inmates that I guard. And they knew before I got home. They knew. They already called out and tell everybody what it was. Because when I got to the jail, the news was already there.
And when the news is involved, you know you're not going to get a fair chance.
Oh, it was over. I already knew it was. And my attorney at the time, we ended up firing him. My attorney at the time said, we're gonna you take what they give you. I'm gonna try to get out the media's eyes right now. I said, I'm not gonna take the years that you're talking about doing. I said, no, I'm not doing that. And he said, your best bet is take it and get it out the media.
Was he a public defender?
No,
or hired?
I hired her. I hired her because my mom and my aunt said, well, he's not gonna get a public defender. We're gonna pay for one.
Yeah.
And they paid for one, but he got me less time, but I don't think he did the best he could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when I got judicial release, I got him.
But you only got 2 years though. So you got out in 2
more,
years.
but
So you still kind of bit
Right.
the bullet on that.
I did bite the bullet, but I think the reason why I got off that early is because at the time I personally knew the judges, and my attorney knew the judges, and so they were cool, So I think that's the reason why a lot of stuff got kind of paper shuffled away. I'm not saying that's good, but because you don't lose. I don't feel that I think I learned my lesson, but I think I would have been a way better person if I would have done more time than I did. I know it sounds crazy, but if I'd done more time than I did, I think I would have been a way better person than I am now.
I think that's pretty common for people to say that they needed. It's like a lot of people say prison saved them.
It did.
And they did.
Especially if you're an addict, I think prison can save you if you're not using in there. And they're talking about bringing Vivitrol shots in there like a year before they get released, and have certain inmates on it that had an opiate problem before they got locked up. That was
your life to save your life.
That was
if they get rid of these old law inmates, they can have the drug facilities and things that they really need.
Right, and if they also cut the pro board in half, they could start building more treatment facilities. They can help people coming out of prison with housing and stuff for them to be successful. Instead of releasing them homeless and pushing them back into what they know best, they need to really help them find housing.
So how did you feel yesterday about the public defenders with how they said they were going to budget that better so that gets revamped a little bit more?
I believe Tim Young would probably want it because he's been the biggest critic of the pro board. Elizabeth Miller, I think, would support it. I don't think that's enough, though. If you don't mandate laws, that means the pro board can go right back to whatever.
The pro board has no guidelines. They haven't had guidelines since 2010.
Right. And they're not going to change as long as they have Cynthia Mauser, Mark Hark, Ellen Venters is gone, Thelmheimer or whatever the chair is.
Tracy Todd.
Right, and then who knows, we'll find some other people along the way. I would say actually get rid of every pro board member that's there now and pick everybody that's outside of the DRC. Right now they're talking about putting an ex-offender on. A defense attorney, I think they told us a doctor and maybe one with mental health.
That's good, mental health, definitely. They need that.
Yeah.
But if they got victims advocates, which is fine, but they have two right now, replace that one with an inmate advocate. Be fair. And then there's no reason why a prosecutor should go to a hearing after hearing for a parole hearing. They presented their case in the court system.
That's right.
But they did tell us though if they're gonna have a defense attorney, then they're gonna have a prosecutor too.
And not all prosecutors go though. But
that will be on the board though.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. The thing that we're concerned about is that they're gonna change things, but it's gonna be from here moving forward, which is not gonna help us at all.
Right.
Even if they say, okay, let's bring everybody back up in front of the board, it's still the same board.
Right.
So that's not gonna,
I personally think, and they cannot go back 3 or 5 years. They don't have enough days in a year. But if they would go back at least a year, bring those people up.
Right.
And then maybe you can go back a little bit further in the future, but give most of them a parole, at least the ones that their conduct proves that they deserve it.
I remember seeing guys going up for parole, and they have it on the board, have their names on the board, on a piece of paper, who's going for the board, and you can tell, you can already see the ones who got flopped, and their whole face is just like, what else do you want me to do? What else do you want me to do? And I'm just feel bad for them because they said I've done everything, every class, everything. I got my GED, I took college classes, I got my degree. What else do you want me to do?
Yeah, the rule of thumb is if you're one of the first ones that go up, you're going to get flopped. If you're the last 2 or 3, you're going to get a parole. That's how it used to be. Not anymore because that 3% the parole ratio, the worst in the nation. That means out of say 1,400 that went up last year, 30 got paroled, roughly. I just heard about one woman all year that finally got a parole, and that was one woman this year.
And then they want to know why it's overcrowded.
Well, if you want to look at previous outbursts, 94 of Lucasville riots, keep pushing these people in the corner. Keep pushing them in the corner.
That's right.
What's
That's
going to happen.
I said that in the media.
Because there's already been talks.
Yeah.
I said that in the media, and I won't back down from it. I don't support that.
Right, but it's going to happen.
Right, and I don't support any prison strike because we're trying to work on a proposal. So I'm asking the inmates not to. If we want a chance, they also have to do their part. You know, we understand the grievance procedure really stinks.
It does.
The retaliation is horrible, especially at North Central, the private prison. I got 2 complaints in 2 days from there.
Yeah, I got some from there. North Central. Yep. North Central's. It was bad when I was there.
Right, that's why I had a debate about 4 years ago against Cynthia Mousy there, and she made the comment that we're through paroling people. And of course, you know, I told her, you know, what's the sense of keeping you then? We don't need you if you're not going to parole anybody.
That's right. You already told us what you're doing with your job. Yep.
I have the inmates clapping about that because we're not going to back down.
I don't blame you.
You know, our commitment's not to the DRC, it's to the inmate population.
That's right.
So the parole board already made it perfectly clear they're not going to meet with us. We have a meeting with the new director coming up in April, and I can't say nothing either way on her. I kind of formed my opinion somewhat, but we're going to see, you know, where she's going to go from this.
I'm going to tell you, they're not going to meet for you guys. That's not right. That's not right because you scaring them. That's what it is. You guys put a little fear in them.
And I love that.
That's good.
They'll be more scared when they do the story in May.
Well, we have a questionnaire. I don't know if you saw this or heard about it, but we have a questionnaire going out to the inmates that have been previously flopped, especially the old law, so that we can compare to what they're saying. And this is coming from all the prisons.
Right.
And the governor's office was very interested in that.
Right. And good.
They want They want copies of it. They're going to try to go in and meet with some of the inmates and talk to them. And
if somebody wants a copy that's watching, maybe we should give them your email and Bobby's, because Bobby's getting bombarded with a lot.
Yeah. So my email is fairtreatmentreform.candace@gmail.com. Bobby Joe's is fairtreatmentreform.bobbyjoe@gmail.com. You can email either one of us. I send them to Bobby.
And of course, we have a fundraiser going. We'll post it underneath the video.
Yes, we have a letter writing campaign going right now. We are contacting anybody and everybody in the community that we can to see if we can set up a table there. Where you can write your letter. We'll have samples of letters that you can write.
That's good.
Hopefully we'll have our postcards by then. Right. We'll have a list of emails that you can email to. We did hear that the emails, some of them were not going through.
Just one, I think, Eklund's. And I checked, that's his exact email.
I don't know.
So I don't know.
There's a glitch.
But also, for our conference on August 3rd, at the Whitehall United Methodist Church, it's a pro conference on reform. We have tables available at $20. Are you interested? Okay. August 3rd.
August 3rd.
Right. We have at least one legislator coming, but I think we need to invite. We need to invite all the legislators to it and see which ones show up. we need the Republicans to come to that because without their help, we're not going to win.
Well, the expungement brought a bunch of people in last year.
But you know, what felony was your charge?
3.
No, you don't. You're not eligible for expungement. You're almost as bad as me.
Right.
I'm kind of scared now, but yeah, I think it's 4. I think some 3s can be expunged, but it was mostly 4 and 5s, and under Governor Kasich, he expanded it, where as many misdemeanors and felonies 4, 5, and certain 3s. I think so. You might want to check with it with the state public defender's office if you're eligible.
Okay.
It's worth a shot.
It is. You're right. It is. If anybody, you know what, and that's a good idea for people who are out there who do have felonies at that, later down the line. Now, 1s and 2s, but you've got 4s and 5s, you can't get expunged.
Right.
Depends what it is.
And they're not really locking up 5s anymore.
Right.
They're getting such a break. I mean, I tried to get mine expunged. They laughed at me. I kind of was hurt.
Right.
Oh.
What level are you?
2.
Well,
I tried to tell them.
laughed at it.
I tried to tell them it was a 3 and a 4.
Right.
yeah, but they put your information in the computer
Yeah, I
right
know.
then.
Right.
But but I'm not really worried about it because it kind of brings out a testimony.
It does.
My record is who I was.
Not who you
and-
are
Not
now.
who you are.
Right.
Not who you are now. That's right.
So when I got out, I was only planning to help one person, Gerald Loomer, that was at Marion. He ended up dying from cancer. Then I got drafted as the president of Ohio Cure, and we started getting letters in, and it just no stopping. You keep getting letters, and now we started this group because we wanted to focus on the parole board, and that's always going to be our main focus
Parole board.
until we get this done. And we also do some reentry, but right now we have to focus on the reform.
We got to
of the
get them
parole
out
process.
first.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we can focus on the reentry.
Right.
That's good stuff, man. For real.
Yeah, the organization, we eventually would love to have transitional housing and stuff, but we just don't have the funds for that right now.
Right.
Until
Someday
we can
will.
find a grant writer. So if anybody's a grant writer, let us know. And you want to help.
That's what I'm working on my master's.
Are you?
Oh, you can come work for us then. Leave Bobo.
Can't leave. Can't leave Mr. B.
Well, Mr. B can share.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. Like I said, you guys are doing a great job, but you guys, I will definitely have it written down, so I definitely will. We will definitely make that trip. Definitely make that trip.
It's written
Right.
down.
Yeah, August 3rd. We're starting
3rd.
at 11. I think. Let's see.
11 to 5.
Yeah, 11 to 5. We need one female that was selected up under the pro board. We have a guy already. We want them to share their experiences. We're going to have some letters that from inmates as well that we're going to have on the table along with our proposal. It's a very expensive. We spend $1,000 every year on our conference. And we usually get grants, but since it's in Whitehall, we're doing it without a grant. So, and we're doing very good raising money.
That's good.
Lately, and believe me, every cent is going towards fighting for these people. A campaign. And anytime you have a campaign, it's expensive.
Oh yeah, campaign. Yeah. You see, because you see how it is when the politicians running, how much they spend for that.
I always had a dream about sitting in the legislation, but now what we're doing now is basically the same thing they're doing, except we have to convince them why our ideal is the right ideal.
Right. Man, that's good. But like I said, I wish you guys all the luck with that. I'm right there for you. It's whatever I can do. I can try to help. I would definitely try to help you guys. But like I said, I am coming back to Ohio. I have to because things have changed dramatically, so I need to come back now.
So does that mean you're going to write a check for $1,000? I tried.
It's all right. Nothing hurts to try.
Yeah.
More to try. That's good though.
I tell you, with some of the donations, we get a guy a couple of weeks ago. He wanted to donate, so we, so that we'd hit the max. He donated $125, and then of course I raised it up $100, and we got that. Then I raised up. We ended up with $530 at last month.
That's good.
And hers $160, and on hers, and the one I did $245 plus another $50, and of course that money is going for our cause so that we could actually